Growing up, I was naturally tall and thin. I slouched due to my height, and my mother always told me to suck my gut in whenever I did. Because of this, I learned at an early age about fat policing and fat shaming. Fortunately, I had access to great doctors to help me with my spine, the utilities to exercise whenever I needed, and a multitude of fitness role models on Instagram and in professional athletics to look up to. It wasn't until I took this class that I realized how privileged I was to have access to these things. For starters, the obesity blame game in the United States usually falls on marginalized people, but especially black women. The CDC claims that black women have the highest obesity rates of any racial or gender subgroup, with 4 out of 5 being obese and 1 out of 4 having diabetes. These women have been referred to as social deadweight in society. But are they to blame for the rising obesity rates? The body mass index, or BMI, is a controversial measurement of fat amounts on individual bodies. It does not account for the extra fat needed on women's bodies, like their breasts, and is an objective form of data collection. Overnight almost, these individuals became obese. What society and many medical professionals fail to recognize is that individuals can be overweight and still be healthy. In Hernan's piece, Disparate but Disabled, Fat Embodiment Studies, she says, I have many times been reminded that, despite the fact that my blood pressure, cholesterol, and pulse are within acceptable ranges, I am unhealthy for no other reason than my weight. Secondly, marginalized communities, specifically black communities, show a massive decline in resources to live a healthy lifestyle. Food deserts are extremely common in urban areas that are predominantly black communities, with most of the food options coming from fast food due to the lack of grocery stores or healthy food options. Along with food deserts are gym deserts, with notably less gyms available than in suburban areas. Additionally, if there is a gym within a tangible distance, there is lack of affordable and reliable public transportation to get there. With a society pushing thinness on everybody, but especially black women, there are immense amounts of pressure to conform to the thin idealized and white idealized body plastered all over the media and many advertisements. But there's one major question people fail to ask. What if black women are happy with their bodies? In Andrea Elizabeth Shaw's The Embodiment of Disobedience, Flatback Women's Unruly Political Bodies, she illustrates the dichotomy between the fit enslaved black woman and the liberated fat black woman, and the political statement that fat blackness has. The poem, Homage to My Hips by Lucille Clifton, perfectly encompasses this idea, especially with the ending lines.
These hips are mighty hips. These hips are magic hips. I have known them to put a spell on a man and to spin him like a top.
This class has really opened my eyes to the true disadvantage black women specifically have in terms of combating the obesity epidemic stressed by nutritionists and medical professionals. We must give underprivileged individuals the resources needed for a healthy lifestyle and empower them, especially women, to love their bodies.